name is Dave Lockwood with Remove It Pros Demolition, and so basically we're on this journey. Okay, the journey that we're on is we are opening up our brick and mortar business, which is our business that we work here in Bonita Springs, Florida, and we're going to take it all over the state of Florida. So starting with Sarasota, this is our journey into that. So we know how to run Remove It Pros like nobody else. And what we do is unique and different. It's got a little spin on it. We've been wildly successful, and you know what we're wanting to do is we just want to share. You know, we want to have impact. It's terribly exciting to you know, Tony Robbins says this. He says the secret to living is giving, which is so true. I mean, I'll give you an example. In my truck, I got a washer and dryer in my truck. One of the servers here on the beach that does a very good job and takes care of me really well and works a couple different places, has gotten flooded out like 4 times in a row. So, and she's just not making that much money. She's so frustrated. She's a delightful person, very nice person, and you know, I just want to do something nice for her. So I told her I gave her this washer and dryer, and it's been 2 or 3 weeks and she hasn't picked them up. So I put them in my truck. I'm going to take them to her. I know that it's a struggle because, you know, she's my age and she's working as a server. I feel for her, you know. All the aches and pains and stuff I have, if I had to do that all day long, although you get wrapped up in the work of it. I put this studio together, and I did it myself, and a whole bunch of different things. I've lost a little bit more weight in my arthritis that I had. It seems like it's gone. Maybe it is gone. You know, Kenny's wife, she lost a bunch of weight. She had arthritis. They call it metabolic syndrome, which is your guts all messed up. That's what I've been told. I've been on this journey for about 2 years. I joined Fountain Life, and you know, they evaluated my health condition and where I'm at and gave me direction on where to go and what to do. And the main thing I needed to do was to get this metabolic syndrome underway or under control, which is basically the majority of it's losing weight. So I eat completely different than I did before. You know, I'm on a Mediterranean diet, more or less, and I'm a weird person, man, in a lot of ways, because I'll eat the same thing every day if it's gonna get me to my goal. Now, yesterday I went to Margaritaville, rode my bike down there, and had the Caribbean salad, which was very good. But Margaritaville is their menus and stuff, they have things set up so that there's a certain amount of calories in each meal. So that was good. It was very good. I had shrimp on it. I ate about 100 foot from the beach, which is my dream, my nirvana. The fun thing about that yesterday was the fact that when I got out of here and I headed down the road, I'm like, holy cow, that is one strong headwind, and it's coming from north to south. Normally the recent weather patterns I'll go down to the downtown area, which is 6 miles from here, and on my way back I'm pedaling my butt off because the wind's blowing that way. So it was kind of cool. The cool thing about it is on the way back, you know, you got a tailwind and you're rocking and rolling. So I was literally riding my bike in no hands, and you know, I don't know, I do that all the time, but I did it for almost the whole way, and it was kind of fun, kind of interesting, staying out of the car's ways. I stay on the bike lane if I don't have a choice. If there's some blockages on the you know, we just had this hurricane. If there's things on the sidewalk, or some knucklehead contractor's got his cars on the sidewalk, I get back on the road. But I watch. There's so many people that get hit on bicycles down here in Florida. We do a lot of bicycling down here. So, you know, and with all the texting and stuff like that, you know what? I just bridge the gap. I just get off the road and I watch them in my rearview mirror on my bike. I don't want to get hit. So it was kind of fun. That was really fun, actually. I enjoyed it very much. I love living on a barrier island. I love living on the beach. I rode my bike all the way down the beach. One of my Osmo cameras, this is an Osmo camera, looks like a little ET thing, right? Well, I took it with me, and I wanted to do some filming on the way down, and it wouldn't work. Now I'm on this other camera that we're talking on is an Osmo as well, and it wouldn't work. So this morning I charged it up. I just thought maybe the battery was dead, and it started working, but then the files were corrupted. So I don't know what happened to this thing. So we use them a lot, so I don't know. DJI has really got it down. The drone that we use is a DJI. They're really, really sharp. These cameras, for what you're paying for them, what you're getting is a lot. You know, Kenny has been in the film industry for a long time, and you know, they were spending 60, 70, 80 grand for cameras and stuff to get this 4K stuff that we're using on these $600 cameras, which is freaking awesome. So so going through this problem with the books. Okay, the one book I didn't pay a lot of money to have it done, and you always have that fantasy that you're not going to pay much money and you're going to get a good result. Well, the truth of the matter is this first book that I wrote it. They should have been able to do this. It's only got like 80 pages. They should have been able to turn this around in 2 weeks. Well, they blew their timeline. They're super sensitive. I'm like, listen, you told me we're going to do this. You're not doing it. What's it going to take to get this done? So they finally, I went back to them. I corrected everything they messed up. What they did is they take all the flavor out of it. I don't know if they're using AI or if they're using Grammarly. So what happens with Grammarly, if you apply it to everything you write, everything becomes vanilla. Everything that makes you in your writing gets sucked out of the text. So what's happening is I'm putting it back in. They're taking it out and putting it back in, taking it out and putting it back in. So finally I got to the very tail end of this, and I'm talking to another person because I'm not happy with these other guys that are doing the book, the Demolition book. Again, I basically with that book, I spoke the whole thing into a video, and I had written half of it, and I wanted them to use the junk removal part of it, book that I already wrote for, and just summarize it into 2 chapters and give it back to me. So what I ended up with, and I didn't realize it, and it's everything boils down to things are my fault. I got too much going on. So what's going on? So, but I like to do that. I like to get a lot. I like to be impactful. I got something to say, So, so anyway, they say they're completely done. I'm talking to this author, somebody who does ghostwriting, and I'm like, hey, I like to put all my thoughts into these videos, and then you write it, and then between the two of us, we'll go back and forth and edit it and make sure that what I'm saying and the message I'm trying to get across gets across, and then I get to provide the information sooner than later. So this is very similar to what Gary Vee's doing, and Alex Hormozy, Russell Brunson, and all them. When you get to a certain level, you don't have 5, 6, 7, 800 hours to teach something like this, but you can speak it into a video in a very short period of time, and then get it put together, and then tweak it, make sure that it's right, which is what I'm doing. I don't believe in having AI write a book and me portray it as mine. I don't believe that. I think that's dishonest. Also, I think that everything that the AI puts out, it sounds the same. So, and I think that people are already seeing that. So there are a lot of limitations with the AI. I love the AI and getting additional ideas for titles for my videos and stuff like that, but I'm not having it write my descriptions or anything. I may get the framework from them, and then I change it and make it work where it's right. I like the fact that a lot of times it'll put you on the right and on a good trajectory, but it doesn't understand things. It's a machine. It doesn't understand things like us emotional human beings do. So I had her go through this book. I was talking to her about this other book because I was very seriously considering firing these guys because I'm just getting lip service, Lip service is we're doing it, but you don't see nothing. It's lip service. So I'm terribly impatient. I'm not going to change. I don't want to change. I want more, and I want it now. That's just the way I am. And I'm not going to be here forever. I want to do it while I can. So I had her read the book, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you got like 10 or 12 spelling errors. You've got one sentence that doesn't make any sense at all, and a couple sentences that I had to correct. They didn't finish them out." And she said the formatting was all wrong. So she's got 20 years of experience. I get the idea that what I'm doing is I've hired somebody that knows how to write and has 10 people in a room with them in India somewhere that they understand English, but they don't understand our culture. They understand English and they don't understand entrepreneurship, and so on and so forth. So almost done with that. I put my flavor back in that. I wrote that whole book, and I'm ready to release it. We're ready to start promoting this stuff. So literally, I spent a whole year of just building credit, or building trust. The amount of money we made off this channel this year is nothing. Is nothing. It's probably 50 grand or 60 grand. I've got 2 editors. I got they're both edit and film, but one guy who just does editing. The other one does editing and films. I just hired someone who is, they have a broad general knowledge of SEO, and I have them working on the SEO stuff daily. I'm supervising that. Now, I did enough of that. I learned enough of that over the last 8 weeks that I'm not going to say I'm proficient. I understand it, and I can do it, and I understand what you're doing, and it's working. So between you and Yoast, Wincher, and SEMrush together as your tools to help give you direction, we are ranking. So we know how to run Remove It Pros really good. We know how to run our operations really good. We know how to do junk removal really good, and demolition, and taking up flooring and all that kind of stuff. We know how to do that really good. But we don't know is how to market in a new market. We have, through our trucks and through our golden rule business, every time we do work for somebody, they'll use us again, and then they tell people about us. So we're at like 97% word of mouth. Well, I can't take that word of mouth to Sarasota because they don't know us, and they will know us, but they don't know us. So in order to get enough work up there and get enough traction to make it make sense to buy a building and all that stuff, the market's declining. So we're waiting to buy. We could go rent. I don't like rent, and everything we have we own. So the idea is work your butt off, make money, and pound it into real estate. That's our philosophy. That's what we do, and we're doing good. I'm real happy with where we're at. All right, so that's pretty much it. Okay, I want to go into one more thing. Okay, the last vlog, I'm absolutely flabbergasted at these guys. So, and I didn't notice this either. So, basically, I'm reading this stuff and going through it, and I'm really busy. So I'm really focused on what I'm doing. So they're giving me back these chapters, and I'm reading them, and I'm straightening them out, and I'm taking out the stupid stuff that they're saying that is not my flavor, and that they apparently didn't read. So basically what I think they're doing is they're reading one chapter ahead, and they're turning around and writing this book. What happened is they inboarded me, a guy named Javier took me in, and Javier ended up, Javier did a bad thing. So Javier lied to me and told me that these guys had watched my videos and watched 6 or 7 of them, kind of got the flavor of how I act and what I like and what I'm all about, and that they were writing the book. Well, about 3 months in, when they're way behind on everything, I'm pushing Javier, and Javier says, hey Dave, he's talking to me like I'm a 3-year-old, dude. I'm like, dude, I'm wildly successful. You don't treat me like this. He says to me, hey, I'd like to get my team to watch some of your videos. We're 3 months in. Now, the second weekend, he told me they all watched my videos. The whole team sat down and watched like 6 of my videos, okay? He tells me this. So meanwhile, he says, can I get the name of your channel? And I'm like, so I get off the phone with him. I call his boss and I say, look, dude, what's going on here? You know, I trusted you guys. We had a conversation. I have an issue with marketing people already because of the bad experiences I've had. The marketing people I've dealt with, and that's why I've gone to the great lengths to learn how to do this stuff myself, they tell you something and they don't do it. If you're hiring marketing people off online, you might as well just drive down the road and throw money out the window. That's Roger Blakefield was talking about that. He blew like 50 grand. After Hurricane Ian, I let a marketing company take over our advertising. I sat down with them, had a lot of conversations with them. They were highly ranked on Google, no negative anything. And I said, I have a conversation with them, send them the money. And 3-4 months later, the first thing they did is our ads were working. They just weren't working as well as I wanted them to. The first thing they did is turn all our ads off. Okay, now we just got hit by a hurricane and we were brand new into the machine-driven demolition. Machine-driven demolition, what I mean by that is tearing down houses with excavators and bobcats and stuff like that. We have been a hands-on demolition company for the majority of our lives. So we're the finesse guys. We're the guys you can take into your $10 million house and I can take your microwave and 5 of your cabinets out and not mess up the rest of your kitchen. You know, that's who we are. But we also can do, it's the same customers, we can do machine-driven demolition. So we started doing that after the hurricane hit. We were thinking about doing it before then. We want to grow. You know, we're growing here by doing that, and then we're going to grow into the next marketplace. So they cost me probably 200 grand or 300 grand easily because while I'm fighting with them to get them to do what I asked them to do, their programs are in learning phase. They never did come out of learning phase for 4 months. 4 freaking months. Now, I'm talking to them, well, it's going to take a while. I'm like, are you out of your freaking mind? You told me this would take maybe at the most a month, and you didn't tell me you were going to turn all my other ads off. So that there you are, you know, and it's the same thing. I've dealt with this with 10 different times, smaller numbers early on in my career, and it's terrible. So basically it's the same thing. You have somebody that knows what they're doing. They hire 10 other people. They delegate to them. They don't have any training. They don't know what they're doing. They have no life experience. They're not entrepreneurial, and you end up with a big fat zero at the end of the day. And I hope the Federal Trade Commission gets on this. I think it's just crap, you know. And then when I fired them, they reported me to Google and said something, and Google took my site down. Well, I called Google, and within an hour or two, I had it right back up. So I'm not dumb, you know. We've been doing this stuff a long time. I'm a 60-year-old guy doing technology stuff that, you know, 20-year-olds are a little more, they navigate it better. I'm not saying they do any better with it because they don't have any life experience. They don't have the life experience I have. So we're doing a check. I started a new bucket. It's going to be extreme junk removals. So the extreme junk removal that we did yesterday, the guys say that we got 1 million books. I think we got 100,000 books. We got all kinds of crazy stuff out of this place. It's really cool. So they were here yesterday. I had them bring this really nice desk system here. I need to spread out more. So, and I have the space for it. So I put that in there. And then I took over one of my bedrooms and put the studio in here so that I could do these, we're going to call it we were going to call it Remove It Pros Junk University. We're going to call it Remove It Pros Mastery Course. Junk Removal Mastery Course is what we're going to call it now. They think the junk removal thing was kind of antiquated. So anyway, that's what we're doing. So anyway, I'm talking to the guys here, and they're excited. We like each other, the guys that work for me, they're a different breed of guys. They're guys who actually work and who are learning and growing, and they're part of something where they know where we're going. I share with them all the things and the struggles in our Thursday meetings about what we're doing as a company and the SEO, and we're learning this and we're doing this wrong and we're going to do this right, and so on and so forth. And they know, and their livelihood is connected to it. So, in other words, if we got more business, they got more work. The more work means overtime. Overtime means more money, and so on and so forth. So here I'm talking to one of them, and he says, I watch your videos every day. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. That's exciting for me. I said, so what do you like about them? He says, what I like about them is I learn something every time. I'm like, really? He said, yeah. And then I got to thinking, I do know a lot. I'm a general contractor. I've been rehabbing houses since I was a kid. I've done a lot. I failed a lot. I've succeeded a lot. I failed a lot. You fail a lot in order to get your stripes as an entrepreneur. So then I got to talking to all three of them, and we're talking about that junk removal. And so what this is somebody had a company where they were, I don't know where they were selling them, probably on eBay, or they were selling them on Amazon or something like that, and they went sideways. And I understand why they would have gone sideways, because it's what they're trying to do is incredibly hard. The reason it's incredibly hard is I've done this stuff. I have done a ton of selling everything you can possibly think of on eBay and on Craigslist and on Facebook Marketplace. And the one thing about eBay is, we're having this problem right now, is you can teach somebody how to do eBay, but if they don't follow through, what happens is they don't get the description right. So they're selling something that's not really what it is. It's not the right model number or whatever. Packing this stuff and getting it to them in good enough shape, and knowing what will make it through getting shipped and what won't make it through getting shipped to somebody. And then getting the details right on the shipping, and then staying on top of it and doing it in a timely manner like you're agreed to on eBay. There's quite a bit to it. So if you're kind of lackadaisical about this stuff, you're gonna get a big fat zero. So, let's say they're doing it and a hurricane came in, and then they decide, and they didn't notify eBay that they don't ship out 10 things or 20 things or whatever. What happens is your ratings get knocked down. So if you get into the 80% ratings on eBay, nobody's going to buy anything from you. So here's my little saying. You can't afford the help you need. You can't afford the sophistication that you need to do this. And the people that are sophisticated enough to do this can make better money somewhere else doing something that's easier and that they like than to do that. So it's just too much. It's just like a thrift store. Thrift stores are a great idea for somebody else. The problem with the thrift store is there's just too many moving parts, and the people that you need to run it, you can't afford to do it. That's why Goodwill and them guys, they get involved with the city and the state, so that they get free help from people, or reduced cost help from people, and they really don't do a very good job. They just get so much stuff, they get through it. And Goodwill has got this figured out. They're government subsidized. I don't know if you know that or not, but they're given money by the government. So, but anyway, that's a whole program right there by itself. So this is Remove It Pros Demolition. This is the Pure Entrepreneur site, and I'll see you on the next video.